Pokemon with guns. 3 words that will pique your immediate curiosity and interest. Props to whoever came up with this phrase. Could have been some random on the internet or the Albert Einstein of marketing, because good God, Palworld is doing numbers.
The numbers!
If you've been on the internet in the last couple of weeks, you've no doubt heard about Palworld. Check this out.
What the fuck?
Yo, look at me, dude. I can pick up a fucking dig toys. I can even jump with him, bro.
Do I need to investigate you for steroid use?
Why do you think my arms are so big, huh? Why do you think? And today, this is the question I'm going to answer. Why is Palworld so popular? And awesome. I've compiled 8 reasons why in this very video. Reason number 1, word of mouth. Palworld's popularity has surprised everyone, especially its developers, who apparently were considering bankruptcy if the game didn't sell well. I don't think they have to worry about that anymore.
Looks like there's been a change of plans.
This game's trailers did not attract a sort of viral attention, and so what I think we're witnessing is one of the most successful word-of-mouth campaigns in video game history. Pokemon with guns is what got me to check out Palworld, and now I'm talking to all of you about it. Okay, yeah, come up here.
Oh, what in the world?
See these chickens?
What chicken? Oh my god, they're dead. Holy shit. Jesus Christ.
We were so close. These are cannons, Blastoise. These are cannons, not firearms. We're so close. I'd say the chances of an early access survival game being this good is about 1 in 8,192. The explosive popularity of Palworld is unheard of in the world of gaming. It's like the polar opposite of the day before. Fuck that game. Palworld has reached power levels that seemed impossible, hitting over 2 million concurrent players on Steam.
It's impossible!
That is second only to PUBG, the game that arguably popularized the entire battle royale genre. That's more concurrent players than Counter-Strike, fucking Counter-Strike, has ever had. What is happening? Do you understand how crazy this is? Palworld sold over 8 million copies in less than a week. It's probably more by the time you're watching this. For reference, Scarlet and Violet sold 10 million copies on the first 3 days. And that was Nintendo's biggest game launch of all time.
And there was much rejoicing.
This isn't just insane. It is insane in the membrane. That a random indie developer can come out with a creature catching game that rivals that of the largest media franchise of all time. It can even keep up with it in sales, relatively. Reason number 2, why Palworld is so popular. This is an easy one. It's a damn good video game. Palworld is like Cell. It combines the DNA from all these popular games in different genres to become this fucking supreme super being. You've got the cartoony art style gliding and third-person shooter combat of Fortnite. They even have shields in this. There's an element of Dark Souls with timed dodges and this sick-ass butterfly twist, by the way.
What the fuck was that?
That's like the Darth Maul butterfly kick. Yeah, you.
Oh shit!
Who are you?
Whoa! Oh, you can do a backflip.
Yep. The crafting, base building, and survival mechanics of Valheim, Minecraft, and Ark. You have open world elements, a little too similar to Breath of the Wild, with multiplayer guilds. Fuck it, throw a grapple hook in there too. Hey, you want to ride a fat alpaca while shooting a musket? Sure. They even let players make abominations in the character creator. I shit you not, because they said Americans sometimes like to make ugly characters. And while you might think it's easy to take ideas and inspiration from all these different places, throw it in a blender and hope it turns out great, Halo 4 taught us that doesn't always pan out well. We've seen plenty of copycat games, right? Doom clones, Halo killers, etc. And most of the time, these games live in the shadow of their inspiration. But we are witnessing something truly magical. Palworld is actually competing with its inspiration. It combines so many different elements of other games that it actually becomes unique, like Cell. For a game that feels like one giant shitpost, Palworld is surprisingly deep. It's a literal fucking skill tree. Are you serious? Wow. This game isn't real. There's so many ways to upgrade your pals and optimize them. It's a much less time-consuming, tedious process than grinding EVs in regular Pokemon games. Like, the way you power pals up is better and more fun than modern Pokemon. What are the offer pal souls? What? Souls?
Oh, that's dark.
You have all sorts of different passives, positive and negative traits. There's a ton of different moves that pals can learn, which happen in real-time combat instead of turn-based. So like, you actually have to aim this shit if you're controlling the pal, which you can control a whole lot of them. The PvP for this game is going to be absolutely wild whenever that comes out. You know, micromanaging your base with pals and the tasks you give them, it reminds me of managing villagers in Age of Empires 2. There's like a little real-time strategy to it. The crafting, resource gathering, base building, and pal training are all things you can invest a lot of time into and get a huge return on investment. This game is way better than it has any reason to be. And that leads me to reason number 3, the content and polish. This is early access done right. When you combine the phrase early access with survival game, it's usually a recipe for disaster. But Palworld defies the stereotypes around early access titles because,
And again, it just works.
somehow it's more stable and polished than a lot of AAA games manage to be. Mechanically, the gameplay is solid, and that's most important. It's a ton of fun battling the pals, catching them in real time, avoiding attacks. Palworld nails the fundamentals and provides a ton of content at the same time. It makes the trainer an active participant in the Pokemon formula, and I cannot fathom why that hasn't been done before. This is leagues above what most people expect from an early access title. It feels complete in concept, and because of that, I'm not too bothered by the rougher areas of the game. Multiplayer and guilds are a great feature. I played a shitload of Valheim, and just like that, Palworld is something me and the boys are gonna keep playing for a very long time. But multiplayer stability is by far the most immediate concern, as it's pretty glitchy compared to flying solo. There's a few animations that could use some work. All right, check this shit. Check this shit.
Oh no, dude. I at least thought like you'd be on her head or something.
But I'm torn between wanting smooth animations and this janky funny shit.
Maybe you can already.
Love how they
Oh, yeah, you can just lift them up and put them anywhere you want.
There's quite a few moves, attacks, and equipment that don't have any sound effects yet, but still functions somewhat. Occasionally you can spawn underneath the map, but any game-breaking glitches I've found can be fixed by quitting and reloading. Another huge issue is things phasing or clipping into the world. The pathing is kind of janky for the pals. They don't always know what to do or where they're going. And the police... Yes, there are police in Palworld. This game has a fucking wanted system.
By the gods, there is a psychopath on the loose! Stop! You violated the law! For the Empire! Remember the Am I supposed to be impressed? You should have paid the fine! What's the matter? Getting tired?
If you attack non-hostile NPCs, the police will spawn in your anus like they used to in Cyberpunk. They will follow you no matter where you fast travel. So you either let them kill you or you quit and reload the game. One of the greatest features ever in survival games is being able to access all of your stored materials without having them in your inventory. So you can build, craft, and do whatever the fuck you want without actually going to the box and picking it up and then doing it. Palworld does the one thing that every video game should strive to do: give you bang for your buck, which is why reason 4, it undercuts the competition. Scarlet and Violet have been out for 14 months and they're still charging $60 for them. $60 for that pig slop. Did I mention they're also double dipping on DLC? They're selling the same DLC twice, which by itself is still pricier than Palworld. In fact, every Pokemon game on Switch is pricier than Palworld. So Palworld is affordable. You can play it on PC or Xbox with Game Pass, It has a small file size, it's easy to understand, you don't need a top-of-the-line PC to run it, it checks almost every accessibility box. Not to mention, there has never been an official Pokemon game released on PC. To be fair, Nintendo doesn't really release games on PC at all, but you would think the largest media franchise of all time would at least try to tap into that market. Reason number 5 why Palworld is so popular. Memeability. Mercenary with a wounded knee. I used to be a tough trainer like you. Then I took an attack to the knee from that giant pal. A Skyrim reference in 2024. What year is it? On the surface, Palworld presents itself with a cute, cartoony art style, located on a series of islands populated by such adorable critters.
Meanwhile,
This island is a living hell. The people I came with aren't with us any longer. Those damned pals ate every one of them. I tried making graves for everyone at first, but when more than 100 died, I gave up on that idea. What the fuck?
And now, standing on this mountain of brave corpses, I have quite the view.
The tone takes a radical shift towards the macabre at complete random. You know, one moment in Palworld, you're catching pals, and the next moment, they develop an eating disorder or have broken their legs. What? You can force them to work under normal, cruel, or brutal conditions.
Yeah, no one's in the wrong here. There was nothing to be done. We had no choice in all this. Because this world is just that cruel.
You don't just fight pals, you can fight real people. And you don't defeat them, you kill them. When I think to myself, what is it about me as a Pokemon fan that is drawn to Palworld? Part of it is the dark undertones of Pokemon that mostly go unaddressed. And this is like a satire of that. On the main menu screen, you've got 2 lamb balls on mounted MG42s. There's a pal called Hang You, which in universe is used to carry out public executions by tearing the skin off of their bones.
Jesus Christ.
Palworld is popular partially because it allows you to do things that Game Freak would never even consider implementing in a Pokemon game. You know, some areas look like they're from a Pokemon game, but then you go to the volcano biome at night and it looks like demon ruins from fucking Dark Souls. What is this? There's an organization called the Free Pal Alliance. We have 5 traditional commandments. Thou must not eat pals. Thou must not overwork pals. Thou must not abuse pals. Thou must not use pals for experiments. Thou must risk thy life to protect pals. And it sounds like a parody of PETA, right? But it's actually an accurate representation of PETA because the Free Pal Alliance can often be seen shooting and murdering pals. I think I love being caught completely off guard and not knowing what to make of this game at any given moment. Palworld is a very funny game and it's easy for it to spread like wildfire when there's so many meme-worthy moments you can create. Look at the way it fucking walks. Oh my god.
That is main character energy right there. That is main character energy, bro.
Furry bait?
That is. It is absolutely furry bait.
Did you know that in terms of pal and human breeding?
Stop right there. Okay, you want to see something else?
Let's see.
It is number 69 in the PAL deck.
Of course it is.
Oh my god.
That's
That
Dude,
makes
like,
sense.
If anybody doesn't say that this game is a parody game, they're just lying to themselves.
Reason number 6, the PALs. We can argue about plagiarism and the various designs and if some of them are stolen ideas or not, which some of them are. Might cover that in a separate video, but most of them are original. And what really sells me on these PALs is the amount of animations they have and the detail of them. You know, Depresso when he mines looks absolutely hilarious. Moss Panda before he chops lumber does a little bow like a sensei. The pals in this game function exactly how you'd want Pokemon to function in a game like this.
I guess I'll just say one of the things I like about this game is you can use your pals for everything you'd want to in a Pokemon game where, like, you know, instead of clicking to use the move, you like get on the PAL and ride them to fly them, or you get on the PAL and ride them.
They're
have them
part
use them.
of the world. And
Yeah,
how
they're
you
part of your
interact
kit.
with
Yes. So like the celery you can get, I didn't want to spoil this, but like I think you could literally use them to glide, like as a paraglider. Like you can do shit with them that like you wouldn't think of. The millennial audience of Pokemon is so massive. I don't know why they don't capitalize on it.
Because they haven't really had to. They haven't had to try.
They just keep getting like, I mean, yeah.
No one's putting their fucking feet to the fire, but maybe now someone is.
Like, imagine if you took this exact idea and swapped out all the pals with real Pokemon. It would sell millions. Pokemon fans would eat that shit up because they have been so starved for innovation and new ideas. You can utilize and control a huge number of the pals, which is one of my favorite features. They can work as gliders or gloves, or you can pull up Lamball and use him as a fucking shield. 111 pals, all designed with a unique ability. They all have unique animations for a variety of tasks. Some of them have exclusive moves and animations for that too, you know? The personality conveyed through these animations is what sells you on Palworld. Meanwhile, Game Freak's animations.
Oh my goodness!
Reason number 7. Palworld is controversial. Nothing popular can ever avoid controversy, and Palworld has been accused of many things like using AI, stealing designs, plagiarizing from Pokemon.
Where's Murkrow?
We got birds.
Nah,
now,
yeah,
bro.
that's... Yo, it does have a hat. It has a hat too. That's fucking Murkrow. Yo, that's actually Murkrow.
Okay. That's the first one I've seen that I've actually gone, alright, that's a little sus.
Yeah, a crow with a hat, it is a little sus. The controversy only seems to be fueling people's interest and attention to this game. But if you think Nintendo or Game Freak or the Pokemon Company is going to sue Palworld and its developers, they had a couple years to do that. They're not going to. And if they can take down this Pokemon mod for Palworld, why wouldn't they just take down Palworld? Reason number 8. This is the last one, and it's big. Pokemon fucking sucks right now. I have been a fan since Red and Blue version, and with 25 years of Pokemon experience under my Wumbo belt, I say with absolute 100% certainty that Scarlet and Violet are the worst Pokemon games in the entire franchise, spin-offs included, and they're the best selling. Palworld has innovated the Pokemon formula more than Pokemon itself has in the last decade plus. Pokemon is the most static, lazy, apathetic franchise in gaming. Palworld was made by people who learned how to use the Unreal Engine as they developed the game, and yet the game they made is 15 years ahead in technology from Scarlet and Violet. Game Freak and the Pokemon Company haven't had to work. They haven't had to innovate or push the boundaries because they've had a monopoly on the creature catching genre for 25 years. Palworld is the first real, genuine competition that Pokemon has had since its inception. And you know how I know that? Because I've only cared about Pokemon since its inception. No other creature catching games have caught my attention. The status quo and quality of the Pokemon franchise has gotten so abysmally low that I've gotten to the point where I'm secretly rooting for its downfall. I don't want to secretly root for its downfall, but I feel compelled to, given the complete lack of effort Game Freak and the Pokemon Company continue to show. Oh my god, what's this? It doesn't feel like acid is being poured into my face and eyes when I look at Palworld? No way! Objects don't disappear or render at 5 frames per second when they're 2 feet away from me? Holy shit! You can actually see the entire world if you go high enough. This kind of draw distance would be impressive for any game. Meanwhile, yeah, sure, Palworld was optimized for more powerful hardware than the Switch, but Tears of the Kingdom, Xenoblade, Smash Bros. Ultimate, Pikmin 4, Breath of the Wild, there's tons of examples of amazing looking games on the Switch. The hardware is clearly capable of it. It's just that Game Freak and the Pokemon Company don't give a shit, or they haven't been given enough time to make something that looks even remotely acceptable. You can literally take assets from Scarlet and Violet and drop them into Mario 64 and it doesn't look out of place.
Something's not right here.
This is why the Monopoly board game exists. It illustrates why monopolies suck for consumers. You want a creature catching game? Your only choice is Pokemon. So they'll make it as shitty as they want to and you will still buy it because there's no other options. Now you have an option. It's called fucking Palworld. And this is one of the biggest reasons why Palworld is so successful, because it is a great creature catching game that does feel unique. The catching mechanic plays out in real time. A lot of fans praised Legends Arceus and hoped that would be the next direction for the series, but it wasn't. No, it was the same regurgitated, stale formula. Isn't it ironic that evolution is such a critical component of Pokemon, and yet this series is incapable of it? Going back to quality of life, Palworld actually lets you control basically every difficulty setting in the entire game. Meanwhile, Game Freak is removing difficulty options that have existed since Gen 1. They actually force the easy mode on you through XP share. It's just, Pokemon should have a difficulty setting. I don't want this to be like Diablo 3 and 4 where I have to beat the game to fucking be challenged by it. I hate that shit. Give me a difficulty option that I don't have to self-impose on myself, okay? Look, Game Freak continues to streamline the games and make them as easy as possible so that 3-year-old toddlers can beat them, and they just want to force you to play easy mode. I hate that shit. Palworld has a level sync feature, so even if you catch something monstrously overpowered, it can't exceed your own level. That's a great way to balance the game. So a huge part of Palworld's success is this growing discontent between me and many other Pokemon fans who are just tired of the complacency, laziness, and incompetence at Game Freak and the Pokemon Company. So why is Palworld so popular? Well, for all the reasons I've been explaining for the last 25 to 30 minutes, silly. It's a solid, addicting game packed with tons of content that absolutely nails the fundamentals of everything it tries to be. And despite taking inspiration from every other game imaginable, Palworld manages to feel fresh and original. It's such a bizarre game, you have to tell your friends about it and spread the game through word of mouth. It's easily memeable, going for half the price of AAA titles, so naturally tons of people are going to pick it up, especially when it bears similarities to Pokemon. It's accessible, easy to learn, and most importantly, it satisfies Pokemon fans who have become hungry for change and innovation. I am excited for the future of Palworld. I hope this game continues for a long time. I hope it becomes a regular series if it maintains this level of quality. And I especially hope this makes Game Freak and the Pokemon Company get off their fat, lazy asses and start making at least half the...
Spare me.
But what do you think? Are there any reasons for Palworld's success and popularity that I didn't mention here? Leave your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to the Pal Man for more awesome content. Soft. Alrighty, V1, that's all I got for today. This is the Act Man signing out. Peace!